Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal. In today's episode, we're going to go back out to Joshua Tree National Park and we're going to do a hike out to the Lost Horse Mine. And on the way to the Lost Horse Mine, we're going to also stop by the Hall of Horrors. We got lucky, we got a spot to park this time. And we scrambled around the rocks and took a dive down into the deep recesses of the Hall of Horrors. The other thing I didn't mention on the last episode was it was right before Christmas when I shot the video, so that's why you hear Christmas music in the background when you were sitting around the campfire. And it was cold that day too, boy. That morning it was like 31 degrees, I think, both mornings, so it was definitely chilly. But anyway, so stick around for this episode. This will be the hike out to the Lost Horse Mine and the Hall of Horrors. That'll all be coming up next in this edition of the Hiking Journal. Stay tuned. Well, good morning. This is day 2 out in Joshua Tree National Park. And yesterday we did Ryan Mountain. And after we did Ryan Mountain, we headed over to the Hall of Horrors. But there was absolutely no place to park. It's a real small parking lot. It holds maybe 20 cars, and there was probably 20 and 3 cruising back and forth, so that wasn't going to happen. So we drove past Skull Rock back to the turnoff and headed up toward White Tank and Bell Campground, and went up that way and parked and took the Arch Rock Trail, which kind of comes in from a different angle than the normal route you would take through the White Tank's campground. So we went across the desert a little ways and eventually worked our way up to the junction and made a left and headed up toward Heart Rock. That was fun. A lot of people there. Everybody was standing in line, taking their turns, getting pictures with that heart-shaped rock. And then after that, we worked our way back and headed over to Arch Rock. And that was really busy. And we were lucky we were able to get in and get our group picture. We had a nice lady took a picture of us. And I set my video camera up, so I took some video of us going up there and kind of posing by the arch, and I can take a still off that. And then we kind of got stuck there for about 20 minutes, taking pictures of everybody else. So we were holding their phones for them. So I bet we took 10 pictures, 15 pictures of different groups going up. But then we came back. So I've got my, just turned off my stove. I got my coffee brewing here. So in a little bit, I'll get my griddle out and I'll get the sausage cooked. In fact, I might even do that right now. I'll get the sausage cooking and do breakfast burritos this morning. We're gonna do another hike today on the way out of the park. We're gonna go out and loop back around and head over to the Lost Horse Mine. Gonna go do that, and we're gonna go by the Hall of Horrors again and see if we can get lucky and get a spot this time. And after that, we'll be heading home. Anyway, I gotta get cooking here in Joshua Tree. Well, I'm having a little bit of trouble with my stove this morning. For some reason, I'm not getting full power. If I turn up the other side, it'll go off. Here's Dave. He's having his coffee this morning. Jerry's crawling out of his back of his Tahoe here. So we're going to have breakfast burritos. So I've got the sausage. It's already browned. Now I'm cooking the hash browns. I'm going to have some eggs going on here in a minute, along with the burrito-sized tortillas. So we should have a good start to our day today. Breakfast burritos and some hot, fresh, percolated coffee. All right, well, we looked out. We ended up getting a parking spot at Hall of Horrors. Now, there's a trail that basically goes around the Hall of Horrors. But at some point, we have to find a way into the rocks. And hopefully we'll be able to see footprints, or we'll be able to see somebody ahead of us that will be able to show us where it's at. Pretty magnificent Joshua trees out here. It's over here, Jerry. Anyway, so I just motioned to Jerry, so we're going to go over here. Supposedly it's up this direction here. Ran into somebody that had just come down from there, showed us some pictures of some pretty cool spots. So according to them, that's where it was. So we're going to go give it a shot. Cool. All right, we're going to give it a shot here. We're going to see if we can find the entrance point. Could have sworn it was in the other side, but those people swore this is where it is.
trample on pretty good, though. Right there, feet in. I just gotta go.
Hopefully this is the route up to the Hall of Horrors.
Easier to get out than it looks.
Oh, see if we can get over there. All right, we're gonna see if we can do this.
There's some good steps. It's just that try to get from here to there.
See what I'm looking at here.
I think we can all make it. It's just heads up. Oh, that big step up is the scary, is the spooky one. Should we keep one person here? Oh, you want me to go check? I think we can all get back up.
Oh, you could probably, I think you can get out it that way.
Maybe, I don't know about that.
Well, I saw somebody at the other end a minute ago.
Yeah, but they were up at the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, it's got a step on it. It's like a little shelf right here.
Yeah.
See the diamond back right in there? That's pretty cool. Look at that rock. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a rock climbing bolt right there. There's a piton right there bolted into the rock. Hey, can you get out that way or no? Maybe not.
Yeah, just a second. I'll grab a picture of you guys back that way to the rock. That was so cool. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. That's killer.
Let's see if we can get out to the end here. It looks pretty narrow. Well, we can always go back out the way we came. Gonna have to stem across.
Yeah,
And who knows what's on the other side of that.
right. There's the one rock, and then I don't know. I mean, even if you get past that.
Yeah, you don't know what's on the other side. So this is cool all by itself, though. All right, well, we are in the Hall of Horrors right here. We're looking at this massive boulder over our head. This is only probably, what, 4 feet wide?
Yeah, beautiful.
That's pretty, it's pretty cool. You might be able to get out this other end, but it takes some effort. You'd have to stem across, and then who knows what's on the other side. We did see somebody on the other side of that. You know, we're looking at all the different rock formations. He said that one looks like a fish with an eye and a mouth.
It's kind of like we're stoned.
All kind of, all these interesting rocks here in Joshua Tree. We're working our way around the backside of Hall of Horrors, and we're eventually going to end up back at the car before we make a run over to the other mine that we're going to go to. Lost Horse Mine, I think it is. Well, we've been traversing around the Hall of Horrors is on the backside. We've walked all the way around this rock outcrop, and we're looking for spots of weakness we can go to get inside to climb up some of these spaces. Haven't seen anybody on this side, but there's another set of rocks over there. So we're going to work our way around and work our way over the other side. And then when we get back to the car, we'll take a quick break, and we're going to drive a few miles down the road to the Lost Horse Mine trailhead and head down to the Lost Horse Mine. It's a hike of about a little over about 4.2 or something like that. So we're gonna go give that a shot in a few minutes after we get done exploring this rock outcrop here at the Hollow Horse. It's warming up, feels good today. The Lost Horse Mine. Even before the gold rush of 1849, prospectors were finding gold in Southern California. As the take from the mines in the Sierras petered out, miners fanned out into the deserts. Here, hot summers, scarce water, limited wood sources, and the difficulty and high cost of transporting equipment and provisions created a challenging environment in which to operate a mine. But a few hardy adventurers persevered, and about 300 mines were developed in what is now Joshua Tree National Park, although very few were producers. The exception is the Lost Horse Mine, which produced more than 10,000 ounces of gold and 16,000 ounces of silver, worth over $5 million today. When the story of the Lost Horse Mine is told, it sounds like a Western campfire tale. Gunslinging cowboys, cattle rustlers, horse thieves, the lure of gold, and a sticky-fingered miner. Longtime resident William Keyes told the story. Johnny Lang and his father drove their herd of cattle into Lost Horse Valley in 1890, when there was nothing but cattle and Indians. Johnny told Keyes that they had moved west after his brother and 6 other cowboys were gunned down in a shootout in New Mexico. One night, while camped in Lost Horse Valley, the Lang's horses disappeared. Next morning, Johnny tracked them down to the nearby McCaney Brothers camp near what is now known as Keyes Ranch. Now, the McCaney brothers were known cattle rustlers, and they had been hanging out recently in that area of Joshua Tree. When they finally met up with the gang, Keyes said that Johnny told them that their horses were not there and he told them to leave the area. Now, Keyes goes on to say that Johnny met up with a man named Dutch Frank, who also was threatened by the McCaneys. Frank said that he had discovered a rich claim, but was afraid to develop it. He said his father bought the rights to it for $1,000 and called it the Lost Horse. To reduce the chances of being killed by the McCaney gang or having his claim jumped, Johnny took on 3 partners. Then after their claim, they set up a 2-stamp mill and began producing gold. A wealthy rancher from Montana, J.D. Ryan, bought out Johnny's partners in 1895. The next year, he found a steam-powered 10-stamp mill somewhere near Colorado River and had it dismantled and hauled all the way up to the mine. To provide steam for the mill, Ryan ran 2 pipelines 3.5 miles from the wells at his ranch to the earth and stone reservoir near the mill. We'll actually see that on our hike today. Steam engines fueled by trees from nearby mountains were used to push the water up the 750-foot gain where it was boiled to power the stamp mill. Heating the water at both the ranch and the mill required a lot of wood, and the results of the timbering can still be seen today in the sparsely vegetated hillsides on both sides. The Lost Horse Mine continued producing until 1905, when the miners hit a fault line and forever lost the ore-bearing vein. In the winter of 1925, sickly and unable to walk out for help, Johnny Lang died of exposure along Keyes View Road. 2 months later, Keyes found the body and buried him across from the access road to the mine. Well, now you know just a little bit about the Lost Horse Mine. Let's go up and check it out. All right, well, we're on the Lost Horse Mine Trail out here in Joshua Tree National Park. Pulled off just past a few miles past Cap Rock, and we're heading out toward Keyes View. We had to make a left on the Lost Horse Trail dirt road. It goes about a mile back to the trailhead parking lot, and it said that the parking lot was full. We were a little iffy. We drove in and luckily we found 2 spots, and we got in, and now we're going to do about a 4.5 mile loop. We're going to go out to the Lost Horse Mine, and then head back to Carby, our last hike on this Joshua Tree adventure. But weather's holding up. It's a lot warmer today. There's no wind. It's actually warm. It's like in the 50s, but it feels a lot hotter than that with the sun. So We're going to keep heading up. Got about 500 feet of gain. That's not too bad. Heading up to the Lost Horse Mine. All right, well, we're working our way up to the Lost Horse Mine, and I was asking, you know, why is it called this? Well, it looked like back in the day, a man named Johnny Lang was out here in this area, and he was looking for his horse. He was traveling the back country trying to find hints of his horse, and he stumbled upon a site that looked very good for a potential mine site. So over a few trips out here, he got a partner, and they purchased a claim out here in the desert, and they established the Lost Horse Mine, which they operated for many years, and it was very productive for a while. And eventually, as all mines out here do, they peter out, and then that was the end of the Lost Horse Mine. But supposedly the remnants of the Lost Horse Mine are still here, and we're hoping here, I don't know, 30 minutes we'll be there. It's a short trail. It's only 4 miles round trip, so 2 miles. We've already hiked probably almost a mile in. So it's got some elevation gain, 500 feet, not too bad, but it's nice and wide open and clear, so we're doing good. And heading down toward the Lost Horse Mine. Whew, I've been climbing a little bit uphill and downhill. Now check this out. While I was coming down the bottom here, I found this little rock enclosure. It's pretty cool looking. You wonder how this became this way, who built this years back. All right, so up ahead of us, we can see a Lost Horse Mine. We have to go this way, and we have to work our way over there. And it looks like work our way up to the top. Or we can go to the right, I don't know. There's also a stone structure way up high. So we'll see. Looks like it's got a chain link fence around it to keep people from going in. It's probably dangerous, I'm assuming. Well, behind me is the Lost Horse Mine out here in Joshua Tree National Park. It was quite the hike. It was about, I'd say, 3 miles. It says 2 miles. It seemed like a lot farther than that. Out here, you can see the stamping works underneath. And more stamping work down here. They've got it all fenced off, so you can't go down there. It's probably dangerous. They don't want people down there messing around. I don't blame them. But it's quite the hike to get up here. A little more than we bargained for, but it's totally doable. It said it was 2.1 miles from the trailhead to here. It seemed like a lot farther than that, but we're gonna go wander around up top. There's also that stone structure we've been wanting to see. I'm looking at it for the last mile, so we're going to go explore. We're going to walk around the chain link fence and see if we can get some good pictures of the Lost Horse Mine. Well, we bushwhacked up to the top of this peak above the Lost Horse Mine, and it's got a tremendous view and a 360, as you can imagine. It's a big, huge brown hill out there. We can see a highway way out there, cars traveling through. We don't know what it is. Maybe that's the road that goes out to Cottonwood. We can see this is the direction we came from over here, looking toward San Gorgonio. San Jacinto's over there. And Ryan Mountain, what we did yesterday, is way off in the distance over that way. So yeah, all the rocks that we cruised through were over that way to the side, but we got, man, what a tremendous view. There's some junipers up here and some yuccas, some creosote bushes, and that's about it. It's actually a nice flat spot. You could actually pitch a tent over there if you wanted to. But there's a little bit of effort climbing that hill, I tell you. And it makes it all worth it to have a beer when you get to the top. Whew. Just met a really nice gal on the way up here. She was at the Lost Horse Mine, talked to her for about 20 minutes. Retired Toronto Police Department, 30 years. So she's out here on a tour. Had to leave that cold, snowy climate back in Toronto to come out here in this, what seems like 80 degrees, but it's not. It's probably 60, but it seems warmer than that. But is there another structure down there?
Yeah, there's two there.
Another stone structure, so there's quite a few. The mine is down the other side. You can't see it, but we're going to take a few minutes and relax up here before we head back. Boy, what a view. I'll give you a view. I'll give you a 360 here in a second. All right, well, here's a 360 for the top of the peak. What is the name? Is this Lost Horse Mountain or something?
Not on the map.
It's not on the map. This is not on the map. So that's looking toward Jumbo Rocks and Ryan Campground. It's over that way, actually. As I'm heading, looks like due east. Now I'm spinning around to the south. I'm pretty much due south. Hardly any wind, just a slight breeze. It's gorgeous up here, though. And there's quite a few of those stone structures. I don't know what they were used for, but wow. Well, what'd you think about our adventure out to the Lost Horse Mine in Joshua Tree National Park? It was a pretty good adventure, don't you think? We had a really nice time on the hike out there. It was a little tougher than we thought it would be. A lot of ups and downs, but the weather was just absolutely stunning out there, and couldn't have asked for anything more. You know, we had a good trip to Joshua Tree. The Hall of Horrors was not quite as exciting as we thought it would be. There might actually be more to the Hall of Horrors than what we actually showed. I've been doing some research since we got back, and there's actually 2 spots, so we only found 1. So if we ever go back out to Joshua Tree and we make a trip across the park, we might see if we can swing back in there and find the second one. Well, anyway, that'll do it for this edition of the Hiking Journal, our trip to Joshua Tree National Park, and our adventure out to see the Hall of Horrors and the Lost Horse Mine. In the next edition of the journal, I'm going to be taking a solo trip out to Daly Ranch. It's a preserve that's out in inland San Diego, kind of near Escondido, and I'm going to do about a 10-mile loop hike along the Sage Trail out to the top of Stanley Peak. And that'll all be coming up next. And in the meantime, why don't you click and subscribe so you can be sure to get the latest updates to the channel as I post them. And I look forward to seeing you on the trail. Alrighty, take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, what's the matter? Look. Look at the glitter. It's yellow, too, like gold. Howard! Hey, look! Hey, look, Kurt! Here's a vein of it here in this rock. Hey, look here. Look, it's all around. Oh, what else could it be? When the gold shines and glitters like that. Struck it, Kurt.